Yeah, I don't know why my muting is not working. You might have to mute yourselves. There's always something on this computer that goes awry. All right, so let's sit together for a moment. Just settle in, settle back. And see if you can, when you close your eyes, make sure you don't drop the chest. So usually, as you know, when we close the eyes, the shoulders begin to hunch forward, the back rounds. See if you can maintain that upright vertical structure as you now close the eyes. And then abide with ease. Let there be no struggle in sitting. And if it's not comfortable, then of course you can stand or lie down or take a seat on a chair. Sitting now in a posture that's comfortable, that's upright. And what I would say is that's noble and dignified. And see if you can adjust the posture so that it exemplifies your intention to be wise. To be wise in the sense of knowing the truth of things. And just simply now allow your attention to recognize what is already obvious in the here and the now. See if you can make no story about that which is here and now. Allowing with utter simplicity to let what is here and now be known to you. And this might mean that you need to include the recognition of thoughts arising and passing away if thoughts are being known. Simply notice what awareness is already aware of. What awareness is already aware of. And then when you're ready, if you'd like, as a way of bowing to the vow, you can fold the palms in front of you. You can recite your own personal vow or the one that I've been doing. May I be a boat, a raft, a bridge for all beings to cross the flood. May I be a resting place for the weary. May I be medicine for all who are sick. May I be a lamp in the darkness for those who are lost. And may I do so as long as earth and sky and galaxies exist, until all sentient beings are enlightened. I vow to save them all. And when you're ready, simply release the hands if they're folded in front of the chest. Gently lift your eyes, lift your gaze, and allow your eyes to open. So in terms of props, if you have a chair nearby, Winnie, I thought if dog pose bothers your wrists, then I had brought out I have some dumbbells here, and dumbbells are really good, heavy, 5 or 10 pounds, because they'll stay on the floor, not slide, or simply do it dog pose. We were not spending a long time on dog pose, but let me just go over this, because I was listening to Rahel teach a learning lab workshop yesterday. And if people's wrists bother them in dog pose, what I typically do is let's just go from, the most mild to the most serious. So what you could do is you take 2 blocks, and we'll do this. Well, not now, but I just want to show you. Put the blocks to accommodate the vertical length of the hand. I like to place the heel of the hand on the brick and then go up. So I would say this is if there's a mild irritation in the hands and in the wrists, okay? And then to make it a little bit easier, you can go to a chair and hold the sides of the chair, right? So this would be another way of doing downward facing dog if your wrists or hands bother you. And then I would say the other way would be fingertips or even flat palms, but I think generally fingertips works better. And then you step back and you do down dog or kind of a half uttanasana at the wall. The other possibility, but people often don't have dumbbells, weights, and you can hold that. Winnie, that's it, okay? So with that said, I'm gonna do our first pose will be dog pose, but let's do child's pose first. And let's do it today in this manner. We haven't done it so long, in a long time. So our first dog pose, you're actually gonna put the hands at the wall, not on blocks. And then you're going to take the roll, the blanket, make a roll on the tops of the feet. And then you're going to extend the trunk forward. Extend the arms forward and take child's pose. If your head feels uncomfortable, your neck, I should say, you can put another blanket underneath your forehead. If it bothers anyone's knees, Carla, good morning, then you can just sit in a chair. Carla, you'll be all fine, just that no one really here has severe knee issues. Keep the arms straight though, because one of the reasons I'm doing dog pose first with the hands at the wall and then on blocks is that we have to have access to the legs. You don't have access to the legs if the arms are bent. Have you thought about that? When you bend the arms and in any mount in dog pose, you lose access to the legs. If your shoulders are tight, Lubna, go to the hands, yeah, wider than the outer edges of the mat. Keep the elbows poker stiff. We're training our arms. That's good, Elaine. You can also sit on the chair and do child's pose with the hands extended to the wall. All right. And also, Elaine, you can alternate the hands at the seat of the chair and then step back because you're really more in half uttanasana. It's a beautiful pose. All right, now take your hands and make them to the, as we did on Friday, those of you who were here, to the outer edges of the mat and have the index finger touch the wall. Okay, the very first dog pose, I'm going to focus on keeping the arms straight. Finger, yes, go wide to the outer edges of the mat. That's it, Elaine. Lift your buttocks up. So now you're taking Adho Mukha Svanasana, buttocks up beyond the balls of the feet. Now take the weight back into the legs. Now, if you bend your arms even slightly, and you can do this, just so I'm making a point, bend the arms a smidge and you will lose that access to your legs. If you bend the arms a little bit, you will lose the access to the legs. Good, Mary Beth. All right. I want you to really open up the backs of the knees. That's our theme today. Spread the toes, lift the arches as you sink the heels down, lift the kneecaps, activate the quads. We did a lot of quad work on Friday. Okay, now come down onto your knees. Now, for many people, having the hands on the blocks will promote even more access to the legs because it's easier to keep the arms straight. The arms are longer now. So with the blocks at the wall, so they don't slip, slide away, take your next dog pose, and then we'll move on, Elaine. Okay, up you go. So Lubna, this is really helpful for you, the hands on the blocks. Notice how it helps to keep the arms straight as long as the blocks aren't sliding away, how it helps to move the thoracic spine in. Now, I gave you that instruction on Friday. For those of you who are here, I'm standing with my hands on the roots of the thighs, press it back. Press it back. Watch the shins, don't let the shins roll out. Suck the outer shins in, but move the inner knees to the outer knees and align the feet so they're parallel with each other. Sink those heels down as though I'm behind your heels and pulling them down. That's a good visualization for you to think of in your mind. So even though we're not together in that sense, you can really feel that adjustment. Okay. And now walk your feet toward your hands and inhale, up you come. All right, so I want to just spend a little bit of time on two more poses, Prasarita Padottanasana and Uttanasana in which you can really feel the knees or the backs of the knees are open and the flesh of the quadricep hugging the bone. So this one you all know. You could do it at the wall and that you get better proprioception of the leg when the legs are actually against the wall. But this is the one where we step or jump the feet apart with the hands on the hips. Now you have to seal the outer edges of the feet, lift the arches, and then I'll show it sideways, come to a concave back position. So when I do this, standing sideways to you, when I bend forward, the buttocks, did you see they went back? But then I adjust so that my legs are indeed perpendicular to the floor. And it was interesting, Janet, someone asked the question to Rahel about chin up, look up, not in this pose, but in dog pose. So when you lift the chin and look forward, it can be uncomfortable on the cervical spine. A better instruction is to look forward from the gaze of the eyes. That's a better instruction than lift the chin up, because then that closes the cervical. So try that just to make a point. So standing wide, some of you might need blocks for the hands, probably on the lower side. Go wide, make sure the feet are parallel the way they were in dog pose. Okay, now do this. All right, you're all wide, adjust the feet. Now put your hands on your inner thighs right here and hit them away. Hit them away from each other. Now put your hands on your inner knees and hit them away from each other. Hit them away. Now suck the outer shin in. Don't let the shins bow out. Outer shins in. I'm taking my thumb and index finger and sucking in. Then you're going to bend forward, maintaining the inner thighs moving away, the inner knees moving away, come into concave back. And then look forward from the bridge of the eyes, because oftentimes as we get older, that cervical spine shrinks. So we don't want to just lift the chin up indiscriminately, because that will close where basically C1, 2 are. See if that helps. Good, Lubna. That's really good. Now, take your hands back in line with your toes. See if you can bend your elbows so the upper arm, lower arm form a right angle. Use another block if you need it for your head or a blanket, and take the crown of the head, good Mary Beth, to the floor. That's it, Janet. Just release the side ribs. That's it, Elaine. Move the inner elbows toward each other. They want to bow out. So your upper arm and lower arm propriocept, which is not so easy to do a right angle. The upper arm and the lower arm at a right angle. Elaine, just stay in concave. Now seal the feet, take the hands on the hips, good call out, see in profile, and inhale, up you come. All right, now you can stand in profile with the feet hip width apart. And one thing I will say, I think if this was mentioned, so, you probably all know we're doing this yoga and aging seminar, and Patricia's piece on the spine has happened already, and then it was followed up with Rahel's workshop. So those of you who went, I'm just picking up and refining a little bit of the points that they made. I will say that as you get older, standing with the feet hip width apart is much better for your back. Could you take the feet together? Of course you could, but it's much more easeful on the lower lumbar spine with the back, with the feet apart. Now you're going to raise the arms up without taking the thighs forward. That's really important. Now exhale, bend forward and take the hands as they were in Prasarita Padottanasana closer to the heel and go down. We haven't done this in some time. It's okay to bend the knees a little bit. It is okay to bend the knees. I mean, ideally you want the legs straight, but if your hamstrings are very tight, then by all means bend the legs, or see if you can take the same pose if anyone is bending the legs, and if they take their feet wider than hip width apart, see what happens. All right, so I want to see this. Take them wider. Anyone can take the feet. Janet, now go down with the side ribs. Go down. Okay, so hence we're doing leg stretches, and I think everyone would benefit by them. Elaine, that was good. Mary Beth, good. Okay, and now inhale, up you come. Just by raising of the hands, how many of you found that last pose, Uttanasana, challenging to keep the legs straight? You can just put a thumbs up. Winnie? Yeah, Janet, okay. So for many people, if you don't, probably twice a week, do some hamstring stretches. Uttanasana is a tricky pose. Hence why we're going to spend time on Supta Padangusthasana. So what I'd like everyone, if you have 2 belts, get them. If you have 1 belt, no worries, work with 1. We're going to do the whole cycle at the wall. The whole cycle. And we're going to spend some time. One of the things I want to say about Supta Padangusthasana cycle is that I want you to use your energy with discrimination, especially in Supta Padangusthasana 1. We're not going to go for the full pose. We're bringing the leg to the chest, to the forehead from the start. All right. So now I want you to take your belt in a very specific way. You'll make a loop. So this is this has a tail of about 12 inches because I want to be able, you'll be at the wall. I'll show you on my left side. I want you to be able to hold when it's around the arch of the foot, to hold the belt with 2 hands, Let me just adjust this camera so you can see this. I'm going to go slowly because we have time. This small class. There's something so wonderful. I was in class. I hadn't been in class in a while, and I took a class on Saturday, and it was so wonderful because we spent a lot of time in the Supta cycle. So watch, you see, I'm not lifting my shoulders up. The shoulders are down. My arms are slightly bent. I'm turning my arms from the inside out. So adjust the strap so you can get that. And then you're going to go to the wall. So we're taking time for this cycle. And you're going to start with the legs bent and then extend one leg, then the other to lengthen the lower back. Have the belt nearby. All right. So you've adjusted the belt. Take time, no rush. Take time because we're going through this cycle very, very, very slowly. And doing it so that we're not, I want you to think of this as sustainable. Again, the theme here is opening the backs of the knees and ironing the flesh to the bone. All right, now do a Kunshanasana or Ekapada Padangusthasana. Take the right knee in, hold the shin or the back of the thigh. If you have longer arms, holding the ankle, let the elbows part. So now Ekapada Padangusthasana. You have a wall, that left inner heel is against the wall and it helps you to press the top of the left thigh down. So this is a Kunshanasana or Ekapada. Now see if you can bring the knee in a little bit closer and use the breath to do that. So the abdomen draws back to the front of the spine and take an inhalation. As you take the inhalation, draw the knee closer to the chest against the resistance of the abdomen moving back. That's good, Colin. Now, good. Flex the foot. Flex that right foot so you're extending through the inner ankle. And do indeed open the toes. Imagine you had toe spacers. All right, now the belt is on. That's good, Mary Beth. Knee is well merged into the chest. Now take the leg to 90 degrees. Establish 90. I know many of you will go beyond 90. All right. All right, now pull the belt down. Belt is moving down toward the chest, but the heel is moving up. Open the back of the knee. So if you are looking at the back of your knee from the side, it should not bend. Hold the strap now, everyone, with just the right hand. Put your left hand on the root of the right thigh and take the flesh to the bone. You're ironing it out. Extend simultaneously from the inner knee to the inner knee to the inner heel as you continue to pull the strap down, lift the heel up, and begin to move the leg and make it sustainable. So I don't want you to use an abundance of effort that you can't sustain this pose for roughly 2 minutes. We're not going to the final stage, at least not yet. Keep that, Winnie, see if you can keep, at least from my camera, it looks like from the picture here that I'm seeing, the right leg is going a little bit out to the side. Keep that right leg running in line with the shoulder. All right, now, especially for you, Tony, just hook your left thumb and index finger at the corner of your left hip. I'll do that now and show you. And then make sure the hip, Tony, is not lifting up. So you see, I'm using my thumb and index finger, I'm cutting it down. That's it, Mary Beth. So that's it. Hips should be balanced. Legs are straight. There are no knees. Flesh is hugging the bone and the hips are balanced. There's lots to do. I'm giving you lots of instructions on Supta Pada Krishnasana because when you do it slowly like this, our attention goes elsewhere. What we're going to do, Janet, that's really good, keeping the legs straight. Our attention goes elsewhere. I want you to keep your attention that we spoke about, the awareness on the leg, both right and left. Keep moving the leg, keep moving that leg. Remember the metrics of this pose. Legs are straight, chest is lifted, hips are balanced. Okay, and then release. Now, just as an in-between, which is very nice on the back, go back to the bent leg, both knees are bent, and then extend the other leg, if you remembered, back to Supine Tadasana. And then, of course, a Kunshanasana. Observe the difference in the two sides. Again, so if the thigh is some distance away from the chest, work with the breath. Inhale, exhale, and against the resistance of the abdomen moving back, draw the thigh, merge the thigh with the chest. Keep that left foot flexed. Imagine you had toe spaces. So you're bending the left leg and we're in a Kunshanasana. Tony, are you okay? We're in it, yeah. So bend your left leg and hold, yeah, knee in, hold the knee or the shin. That's it. Good, good, good. All right. Now, again, put the belt on in the same manner. Remember, you're always free to release a hand to take the flesh to the bone or to press now the root of the thigh. So, do the needful, do what you need to do. So much of yoga is not about, it's not dogmatic. Well, it used to be dogmatic, but, I want you to figure out a way, how are you going to stretch your left leg? First, open the back of the knee by extending even more from the inner knee to the inner heel. Iron the flesh of the left quadricep to the bone. Left quadricep, so you can put the left hand on the root of the left thigh, press it back. That's it, Carla. Hug the skin. That quadricep that we alluded to on Friday, we worked those quads and Utkatasana and Virabhadrasana too. Good. Now, you can hook the thumb as I showed, thumb and index finger into that right hip, and keeping the hips balanced, move that left leg, any amount. Now, you will notice rather soon on already by now, which leg seems to be tighter. Now, on your own, you could practice that tighter side perhaps, the less glidable hamstring a third time. Feel free, you don't always have to do each side twice. You could go in back and repeat a side. I mean, if this left side is tighter in any way, then of course it makes sense to repeat it. Now keep moving the leg, moving the leg, moving the leg. Make it sustainable effort. So you can sustain this for about 2 minutes. Notice how the leg is coming closer to the chest. That's it. Hips are maintain their balance. Those are the metrics. Every pose has a metrics. Watch the left hip, Lubna, just not seeing it, but just on that left side, cut it down. And also, Lubna, for you, for that matter, anyone, you all know how to do this Supta Pada Krishnasana 1 with the traction belt, a longer belt at the root of your, it would be at the root of your left thigh and outer right ankle. So that's also something to remind you of. Sometimes we just forget these many options that we've learned over the many years. Okay, about 15 seconds longer, go any amount, observing, noticing, feeling, relax your eyes, throat, and tongue. And again, moderate the effort so it's sustainable. Moderate the effort so it's sustainable. Okay, now take the leg down, feet to the floor, relax the lower back. All right, now before we do Supta Pada Krishnasana 2, very favorite pose, I want you to do this. So your feet are in contact with the earth. Then you're going to let the inner thighs, like you did in Prasarita Padottanasana, part. So let me show you from this angle. So I'm in supine Baddha Konasana. If your knees are higher up, like this, and you can't sustain Supta Baddha Konasana, put blanket support. Listen, guys, if you have any questions, it's such a small class today, you can just pipe up, meaning ask a question if you want. Okay. All right, soles of the feet together. Those of you who have no knee issues, good, Carla. Hold the outer shins and bring the heels, drag the heels in. If you can't sustain this kind of open butterfly pose, wedge in blankets. Tony, let's see. Flat back. So Tony, you could do the blankets. If you have one, that's fine, but then you can do it like this. You just have one, you can do it in this manner, but ideally two might be better. Mary Beth, good. So like this, Tony, I have, say, 2 blankets, which you have, and I'm putting the blankets here, you see? Okay. Good, Lou. Now, widen the thighs away. Press the feet and widen the thighs. Make sure your belt is still nearby, because we're going to use it in a second. Well, not in a second, but soon. So you're supporting your outer thighs, those who need, with the 1 or 2 blankets. The feet up on the blanket, Tony, is good for the low back. I assume that's why you're doing it. You can do it that way. Yeah. Okay, that was what I was referring to. Exactly. All right, have the arms out to the side. A little bit more, Carla, yeah, so that the chest opens. It's interesting, when the arms, Carla, are really close into the side hips, it has a different effect on the organic body. It doesn't feel as spacious. Take the arms a little bit out and just feel how the breath, it's like you're creating more room in the chest for the breath to reside in. Okay. So we're doing a little bit of preparation before Supta Padangusthasana too, which we usually don't do. All right, now watch. You all know this and hopefully love it. So now the feet are flat on the floor again. And then this is what I call quasi Jethra Parvattasana, which is great on the hips and the groins. Notice when you go to the right, how you're lengthening the frontal groin of the left hip. And you don't have to have the knees touch the floor. And go side to side. We did this a lot during the past 2 years because people had some back issues. Do make sure though, feet are hip width apart. Tony, take the feet a little wider. Yeah, Carla, good. Side to side. Go slowly. Just enjoy this beautiful stretch, Janet. Excellent. That's it. So when you go to the right, feel the stretch in the left groin, vice versa. Beautiful. Okay. Some of you might find that this will help your Supta too, because I assume that you practice Supta too fairly regularly and that we've taken the time here to do it. So now watch what we're going to do. I'll show this from the front because it'll be easier for you to see. So we're going back to that Supta Baddha Konasana. And look, I can hold lifted up my feet. I'll bring my heels in a little closer to my pubic plate, widen the thighs away. Now watch. I keep this left leg in its place. I don't disturb it. And then I simply raise the right foot up. I've got my handy dandy strap. And then here's the key, keeping the pelvis balanced. You'll see how the weight wants to go to the right. I'm tipping, but no. I got to keep those 2 buttocks as though I had them on a scale. This right side, this left side bearing equal weight. All right. So this is a harder way of doing Supta 2 with the other leg bent. So start in Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet, touching feet on the floor. Good, Carla. And then keep the left leg in its place. Take the right leg out to the side, but don't let the weight. So some of you might find as you take the right, if you extend the right leg, the weight is going to fall to the right side. The left side gets light. So that will mean that you have to raise the right foot up a little bit in the air. Now take a look at your foot. Yeah, Carla, take a look at the foot and keep the baby toe side of the foot parallel to the floor. So yeah, so that's it, Carla. So lower the heel, but lift the sole of the foot. That's it. Balance. So now your pelvis, imagine your palms underneath, your palms were a pair of scales underneath your buttocks, good leg, and they're equally balanced. You won't feel as much space in this Supta Padangusthasana 2 as you feel when the left leg is straight, and we'll do that soon. Okay, now fold back the leg into Supine Baddha Konasana, and you'll do the other side. Okay, wait there. Soles of the feet together. Tony, good. Now keep the right leg in its place, put the strap on the left hip without listing to the left, extend the left leg out. One side will feel very different based on the hips. If one side is tighter, you're going to see it. Then the foot, likely that the foot will be, the left leg, if this is a tighter hip, it will be higher up in space, right? Broaden across the pubic plate. I know it's hard when the other leg, meaning the right leg, is bent. Okay. Tony, see if you can adjust the foot so that the whole side of the foot is parallel to the floor. So now your heel is up, yeah, even more parallel. Drop the heel toward the floor. That's it. So the foot is running parallel to the floor. I know it's hard to do. All right, now take the leg up, just place the feet flat on the floor, just for the back. We're using this as an interlude, feet flat. And feet hip width apart, Do a quick quasi-jector side to side, dropping the knees any amount to the floor, good. Drop the knees, good. Arms out to the side, drop the knees, good. All right, now we're doing the classical Supta Padangusthasana 2. So I want everyone to decentralize. It'll be the left leg. So watch again. I start with bent legs. It's the very best way to start. Extend one leg, then the other. All right, then I'm taking the left leg out of the central line to the outer edge of the mat. I go back to the Akunshanasana right leg, and then I'm holding the strap, and then extending the left arm out with the palm down. I want to stay present. 90% of my presence of mind is with my left side. As I take the right leg out to the side, I'm turning my abdomen from the right to the left so I don't topple into my right side. I hope that's clear. Maybe I should show it this way. Watch. I really have to practice my demonstrations. All right, so I'm taking this guy out to the side, and look, just watch again. So you can see this. This is what it happens to people, right? So now palm is down. That makes me stay in my left side of my body. I turn the abdomen from the right to the left as I take the right leg out, because I don't want anyone to do this, right? It's easy to do that. You have to glue the left side of your body to the floor. Okay, you can show me in any way. I mean, you could show me with the legs facing me. That's then it's more valuable, but don't worry, you don't have to get up. All right, here we go. Remember, keep the left side down as you take, it's an as you. So as you press the left hand, turn the abdomen, right, that's it, swipe the abdomen, Tony, right to left, and go out. Now, what's interesting about this Supta Padangusthasana 2, beautiful Mary Beth, is now you'll feel that width coming naturally across the pubic plate. The inner heels are moving away from each other, and organically, you will feel lots of space in your pelvis, in your abdomen, and in your chest. Hence why we often give Supta Padangusthasana 2 for anxiety and for a settling down of the mind. Really good. These look good. Now, again, moderate your effort so you can stay comfortably. You shouldn't be efforting now. There should be no struggle. Moderate your effort so it's sustainable for about 2 minutes. You know, I'm not timing it, but if you were to come in, just say you only had 4 minutes in a day to do yoga, 2 minutes in Supta Padangusthasana 2 on the right and the left side. So I want you to sustain the pose for 2 minutes. No exertion. All right. Now bring the leg back up, place both feet on the floor, and we'll start again. So we're coming back to this interlude of feet flat, and you extend through one leg, then the other. Could do jetta. Yeah, if you want to do jetta, that's fine. And then we're going out to the side. All right, so decentralize the right leg. Take the left knee in, strap goes according onto the foot. Take the right arm out, palm down. The palm down will help you. Good, Mary Beth, that's good, a viewing point with the legs facing me. Keep the right palm flat on the floor, and then turning from the left to the right. There's lots to do at the onset. extend your left leg out. That's it. And then find out, are you even side to side? So Tony, there is a standing iteration of this pose, which we will do today. And you'll see if it bothers you, this could be an alternative to come back to, or you can simply place a leg on support or do even a more early on iteration, when I showed you earlier, Parsva Kunchanasana. All right. That will become clear. Now, Carla, just press the root of your right thigh down. Take that flat, yeah, right there where your hand was on the top of the thigh, and iron that skin to the bone, Carla. Iron that skin to the bone. Yes, I know the leg wants to fly away, but we're not letting it. Okay, and then come back up. Lubna and others might need another belt to do this. So I think this is actually a good orientation. So you all know this, but I want to spend some time here on the Supta cycle because it's just so important. So now we're doing Supta Padangusthasana 3. So watch, you're doing it at the wall, but I'm just going to show because this orientation works quite nicely. I'm going to use a second belt, and I would say anyone who has a hip problem probably should use a second belt. I'm going to show you why. And I'm more specifically, I'll say an inner groin problem. I shouldn't say categorically a hip problem. Let me show. All right, so I go back to Akunchanasana, Rekha Pada Padangusthasana. Here I am in Supta 1, and then I take this other belt, and I have it already. I have a loop, you see, putting it around my inner thigh, and then I'm hooking my fist in, and I'm going to pull outward to the right. So as I cross the right leg to the left, I'm pulling. You could even hold it with my fingers. I'm pulling my inner right thigh that way. So in essence, the inner thighs, and I just wanted, this is really important. Do you remember, guys, when I said for you to do Prasarita Padottanasana, I said put your hands on your inner thighs, hit them away, hit the inner knees. That's what you need to feel. Jarvis often, you don't want the inner thighs to collide, right? I'm just saying it different ways. The inner thighs have to resist. Now, some of you can get that on your own. You don't need a belt, but if you can't get the inner thighs resisting from each other, then you need the belt. Is that clear? Please come on and say something. Is it clear? Crystal clear. All right, here we go. 2 belts. Sometimes, Lubna, you've seen me do it with one hand. I have long arms. So, you know what I often do is this. I hold the belt with the left hand, which you'll all do, and I put my forearm to resist. That's just a quick fix if you don't have a belt, but your arms have to be long. All right, may I see? All right, so right leg is up at 90. Right leg is up at 90. Now you're holding it with your left hand and focus on your inner groins moving away from each other. The right hip, Janet, I remember you asking this question years ago. The right hip will lift up a little bit. That's true. But you're staying on the median line of your chest. So your torso is parallel to the ceiling. The right leg is unlikely to come over that far. Tony B, make sure the inner thighs. It's a stretch for the external lateral rotators. We need to take the right leg a little more to the left. Beautiful, Carla. Okay, these look good. That's it, Mary Beth. All right, and then release. Well done. Change sides. Now, you might have an inner groin issue on the right side. You may not need it on the left side or vice versa, or perhaps you need it on both sides. As we age, this pose typically becomes more challenging. All right, just the nature of the inner groins. So I'm just giving you tools. All right, strap or no strap, you can use your left forearm if you have long arms. All right, now you're taking the left leg to the right, resisting. Good, Janet, but keep the leg straight. Don't let that left leg go lower than 90 degrees to the trunk. Otherwise, you will bend the leg. Let's see, Carla, you got a good, that strap is good. Now go. Luna, you're resisting your inner left thigh away from your right. I like to say this, don't let the groins crisscross. Don't let the groins crisscross. All right, stay there. Keep those legs straight. Keep the chest absolutely parallel. You're on the median line. Open up the arms. Yes. Feel the breath high up toward the collarbones. All right. And then take the leg up. Now we're doing Supta Padangusthasana 4, but we're doing it at the wall today. So this one, you all know, I'm at the wall. I'm going to cross. Now this is what I want to be, I'm going to show you on this side. So when I do this pose, I'm looking at my shin. Do you see how my shin is at a diagonal? No. I don't want a diagonal shin. I want the shin parallel to my chest, which will mean for some of you, especially if the hip on the right or left side is tight, that you have to decentralize, meaning you'll have to move the left when you do the right leg or left leg more to the right or more to the left. So let me just show you this. So watch. Oftentimes people, when they do this pose, you see how the shin is slanted? So I'm going to take this leg more to the left. So that foot, I don't want it to cross over to the right. I'm bringing the foot so it's actually more on my right side. And in that way, then Tony, this is really good for you to get into that hip, those external rotators. So I want you to make sure your shin is not at a slant. All right, let's do it. I hope that was clear. Carla, good. Now get the shin parallel to your chest. Put the right hand in the root of the right thigh and turn that flesh. The inner thigh turns to the outer thigh. The inner knee turns to the outer knee. If anyone's shin, which I don't see it, is at a diagonal, then move the leg more to the right. That's a principle of decentralization. Where when there's restriction, decentralize. I always think in my notes, DEC, decentralize. Now have courage to hold the sides of the mat and see if you can go in a little closer to the wall, but don't lose that parallel shin. Go any amount closer to the wall. It might just be a 1/4 of an inch. Janet, good. Keep turning. Don't let that shin become diagonal or slanted. Seems like you all know what I mean. That's it. That's it. Carla, good. Thumb, that's it. All right, these look really good. Now change sides and observe the difference in the hips. And then it'll be interesting to see if anyone has hips are the same. Hence, we're all going to Karen's on Sunday. Here we go. Left leg. That's it, Tony. Turn. Good. On that left hip. Good. The shin is parallel to the collarbones. If it's not, then take the left leg more to the left. That's what you're learning, right? That decentralized position. Feel it in the corner, good Luna, of the outer hip. Yeah, fine for you to do that, Mary Beth. That's, of course, the next step. Good. Winnie, I think you see how the left foot is crossing too much over the right thigh. Take your left leg more to the left. So your left foot will be more on your right thigh. Yeah, even more, even more. Go. Yes, there you go. Now it's a big difference. Then the shin is less diagonal or angular, if you want to say. All right, now we'll do, to your point, Mary Beth, watch. So I'm going to come away. Oh, did we do the left side? Oh, we did. Okay. Watch. So now you're going to go back to the right side. Imagine the wall, that left foot still at the wall. Lift the chest, lift the head, hook under. You see, I'm hooking under, and I'm taking the leg with me, my right leg with me as I lie back. If it bothers your neck, and it often does for most people, put a bolster. So we're hooking under and extending the other leg. Put a bolster. Anyone who has neck issues should use the bolster. And then we're going back to Supta 1. How long did it take us to do? Maybe 15 minutes. Okay, here we go. So your figure 4 without the wall, then you hook both forearms under. That's it. Yes. So now you have some leverage to bring the leg with you, bring the right leg toward the chest, raise the head, raise the chest, and now outstretch, Janet, the other leg, outstretch. Now, again, this is where it gets a little tricky. Moderate your effort. Moderate your effort now in this final Supta 4, which we will in final Supta 1. Okay, and then release. All right, let's do the other side. Start from the figure 4. Imagine you were still at the wall, then you'll hook under, and I used to give the image of like a blanket. You're holding a blanket and you're covering up your body at night with the blanket. So now your blanket is your left shin and you're going. Relax the head, relax the eyes. Remember, decentralize. If Elaine, watch that angle. Yeah, watch. I know it's harder on this side, that left side. You see how angular that lower leg is. Good, Mary Beth. Yeah, that's it, Carla. The hooking underworks really well. Mary Beth, you're in the final, and that's all is well in the world. All right, and then release. All right, so now as the grand finale, we are going to go back to Supta 1 as a precursor to the standing iteration of Supta 1. But watch, so you know I have my sneakers on, but you can imagine I don't. Okay, I go back to the wall, extend one leg, then the other. I'll show on this left side. I go back to Ukunshanasana or Ekapada Padangusthasana. I merge the leg with the chest. I'm holding my big toe and I'm taking the leg beyond 90. Don't worry if you can't hold the big toe, use the strap. And then like Supta Padangusthasana 4, you're gonna lift the chest, lift the head, and take the leg with you. For those of you who can hold the outer edge of the foot or even the back of the heel, be my guest. But only do so. So that is if you maintain the metrics of the pose, which is keeping the legs straight and the hips. But let's all start with Supine Tadasana. And then a Kunshanasana right leg, go slowly. I want you, this is the finale. So again, please moderate your efforts. Really important in this one and the one that we just did. Hold the big toe, use a strap or the outer edge of the foot. Some of you might be able to hold the heel and go to your final. All right, so you're holding the leg. Now lift the chest, lift the head. Now bring the leg with you, but don't let the outer right hip lift up. Have that imaginary traction belt in your mind. And then what about the left thigh? Press it down. It's hard, it's challenging. Relax the back of the neck, support it if you need to. Mary Beth, yeah, support it. Okay, and then release. I know I'm not keeping you a minute. Mary Beth and others, if you're going for that final pose and say you wanted to stay 2 minutes, so I find it really helpful. Oh, you got the Bolsa, Mary Beth, I didn't see it. So then you can put it right here, you see? And then when you reach, you'll have some support. You see that? There is head support. So if just imagine we were staying 2 minutes, then you'd want the bolster. Okay. All right. We're going doing the other side. Kunshanasana first. All right. Now hold the big toe. Maybe this hamstring is easier. Maybe you can hold the outer edge of the foot. I'm saying this because when we do the iteration standing, you will know on your left side, am I going to use a strap? Am I going to hold the big toe or the outer edge of the foot? And then lift chest, head, take the leg with you. Let the shin come toward your forehead. Lay it down. Good, Lumina. Legs have to be straight. No knees. Arms are bent. Relax the throat. Okay. And just take feet on the floor. And just go back side to side, Quasi-Jethro. All right. Now take a quick have the feet apart. Take a quick Adho Mukha Svanasana freestanding from Tadasana just to get the energy up. Elaine, you can do it when you're using the grip bits. Elaine, you can just stay in Jethro, and then we're going to come up and stand. All right, so now we're doing Adho Mukha Svanasana here now for symmetry because all those poses were asymmetrical. All right, remember, sink those heels down, access your legs. Keep the arms straight, arms straight. All right. Now walk your hands back toward your feet. Take that Uttanasana as we did earlier on. Head down, release the waist, side, ribs, and head. All right. Now we're doing Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana 1. So I'm going to do it supported first. You can opt for a chair. You can opt to take the leg at the wall. So the chair iteration, I just want to show this quickly. I'm lifting we'll take the right leg and still using the strap. So this is exactly Supta Pada Vishdasana 1, but my calf is supported. Or the way it's more commonly taught, let me show on this side, we'll take the right leg up. Lifting the leg up and extending it. And remember to press the root of the standing leg back, okay? I personally think it's easier to use the wall than a chair, but you can make a decision. All right, so everyone stand in Samastiti and have your loop. If it's too long, it's going to be very cumbersome and actually harder. So you can make a big loop like this, big loop. All right, so I'll do it freestanding. All right, now take the weight back into the heel. That's really important. In fact, lift the toes up, even though that's a bit counterintuitive. And standing, lifting the toes up will get the weight back to the heel and iron the flesh to the bone. All right, now we're going to stand on the left leg. So simply remember Kunchanasana. Lift your right leg up, standing up tall, put the belt on, standing up tall, then quickly extend to wall, quickly. Now, in taking the right leg to the wall or to the chair, which I see some of you are using the chair, find out if you've let the left foot turn in or turn out. Find out if you let the left thigh come forward. So your right leg is straight, left leg is straight. Left leg is straight, right leg is straight, and the left foot is directly underneath the left hip. Okay, wait there and lift the side walls of the chest away from the floor. Legs are straight, hips are balanced, those same metrics of Supta 1. Now take the leg down, well done, and change sides. So when you lift the leg, remember the Akunchanasana, right? Press the root of the thigh back. Put the belt on, quickly extend. Don't let that and now the right thigh come forward. So the metrics are the same, and we're starting in the same way. Kunchanasana, bend the left leg, put the belt on, keep the chest lifted, and now quickly take it to the wall. Wait there. Legs are straight. Good, Mary Beth. Chest is lifted. Beautiful. Chest is lifted. Lumina, a little bit more of ironing the flesh of the right quadricep to the bone. Relax the throat. Sustain with a minimal of effort the pose. These are good. All right, and then release. You know, I want to try, these are good poses. Can we try to do it freestanding? If you have any trepidation, just take the chair and you can keep the chair here, just as a, if I was doing it on this side, taking the left leg up, just as balance. Or some of you might feel, and I don't know, Carla, you've done it in Supta, in the Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana too, be near the wall. You might, and just put your hand at the wall when you take the leg out in front of you. So if you feel any kind of trepidation, so we're doing the leg, so we're doing this pose, watch. I'm going to see if I can hold the big toe, the outer edge of the foot, and extend the leg toward the screen. So exactly what we did, the finale of Supta 1. Try it. You can use the strap, but only if you need to. All right, standing in mountain pose, spread the toes. So Janet, that's a good option for these when the leg is out to the side. Yeah, but this one, I want the leg in front of you. All right, here we go. Standing on your left leg, lift the right leg up and extend to the wall or to the chair, or some of you, so straight on, Utthita Hasta 1.
Ronnie, I don't have a wall at all.
So did you want to put it on the chair like this, Janet?
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, because that just because you could use that iteration when we do the other. Okay, I want to see these front. Yeah, leg is going out in front. Let me know when you're ready. That's it. Again, be aware of how much effort you're using the strap at the wall. Lubna, that's excellent. Good, Carla. Excellent. All right, now take the leg down, change sides. I'm not keeping you as long because as you can see, it's easier to stay long with support. You're standing on the right leg. When you take this leg up at Akunchanasana, remember, press the root, Mary Beth, of the thigh, the standing right leg back, then quickly extend. You can hold the outer edge of the foot too. You can hold both sides of the foot. Okay, these look good. Very good. And then release the leg down. All right, now we're going to the out to the side. Janet, stay with it. Continue on. If I'm going ahead, you can stay with it. We're doing Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana 2 or Parsvahasta. Yeah, that's it. So Janet, what you could do is come in closer to the chair, get the leg established on the chair, and then come back up. That might be a little bit easier. All right, so now we're doing this one. Watch, guys, out to the side. But I think this might help some of you. So assuming with the wall or with the chair, you're going to just simply lift the leg up. So it's like Parsva Kunchanasana that we always do. You know this one, but if the foot is not on the chair. So watch. I'm lifting the leg up, and then I'm going to extend it. Then I would have to take the chair here and extend it to the back rump or to the wall. All right, so this is Supta Padangusthasana 2. Let's see. With the chair or the right foot going to the wall. You can show, that's it. Lift the leg, Lubna, the other way, yeah. So it's going out to the side, like Parja, and then go to the wall. Good, Mary Beth. Now, don't worry about where is the foot, the right foot in relationship to the hip. Focus on getting your trunk parallel. If the groin to the screen, if the groin is restricted in any way, the leg is going to come forward, which is inevitable, and the chest is going to turn to the right. Tony, that's good. And if it's not bothering you, that's fine. We're not staying that long. So the toes are pointing up, good, and change sides. All right. Just taking a look at these, and then we'll attempt to do it freestanding. So now you're standing on the right, taking the left foot to the chair or to the wall. Cut the left buttock flesh down. Carla, do you remember, if you can, I can spotlight you. I remember when you did this against the blue wall freestanding, when your arms were out to the side. And you like that, and I work with that way. Lubna, that's beautiful all the time. So I'll spotlight you, Carl. Lubna, that's a beautiful pose. Your hips are balanced. Elaine, same thing when you were in that other side. Yeah, now Elaine, the standing leg is a little too far out. Step in a little bit closer to the dresser. Good. All right, Carl, I'm gonna have you show this because I remember, and I do this all the time in this pose. So you'd be standing, Carla, close to the wall, maybe, I don't know, 8 inches. And then you take the leg. I can't show from this angle, I have to be on that wall. So let's see if, yes. All right, I'm gonna spotlight Carla because I find this way really helps. So again, with or without belt, let me see. Carla, let me see if let's see, spotlight. Yes, do that indeed. So this helps anyone who's having balance issues or any trepidation. You're going to have your back near the wall, not against the wall, but near it. And then see, I love this. Yeah, that's good. She takes her arms out to the side, right? And remember the instruction I gave you in Supta 2. When you take the right leg up, stay with the left side. When you take the left leg up, you have to stay with that's it, Carla. Now take it from the Vrikshasana. She's holding. In fact, Carla, do this. Okay, go ahead. Beautiful. See how her chest, the reaching inward? She's so well aligned as though she was back on the floor, and then go. That's really good, Carla. Find that median line. Find that median line. Beautiful. And out you come. Beautiful pose. Now, what some of you might, thanks, Carla. She started to do something that reminded me of something. I was liking the way she was working. Hold on. So for some of you, this could be really helpful. Watch. So I'm back here. So I'm Carla again, what Carla was doing. All right, now you can do the side, what I call the side outs, which is like Parsva Kunchanasana sans chair. And then what Carla did was touch Vrikshasana and then touch holding that shin, Supta Padangusthasana 4, and then hold the side of the foot or use the strap and then go, okay? So you might, finesse it, and this is where you have to, be creative, like see what's happening in the moment. What does my right leg feel like doing before I take the leg out? Touch Vrikshasana, touch Supta Padangusthasana 4, and then take the leg out. So be creative. Okay, when you're ready, near the wall, against the wall, or freestanding, do the side outs, good, Tony, lifting the leg up. You can hold the chair if you have balance issues. Look, hold, then touch Vrikshasana, pause. That's it, Mary Beth. Then Supta Padangusthasana 4 here. Remember that parallel shin? And then hold the outer edge of the foot. Good, Mary Beth. And reach. Reach the right leg out from the corner of the left hip. So that goes, go with it, Lubna. Go with it. Get your whole arm. So what you saw Carla did when she took the leg out, she was really more present with the other side of the body. I don't want you to list that. We could spend a lot more time. Change sides. This is I love this pose. So I want you to just settle in. You're taking the left leg out, but see what you need to do to the right side of your body. Look at the screen and your body should be your chest should be upright. That's it, Tony. Buttock flesh down. Lubna, let's say use the strap, hook it, but don't list to the opposite side. And then go. Janet, that's good. Now, if the foot was supported, you'd probably get the leg a little higher. Elaine, good. That's it, Mary Beth. Mary Beth, you see, you're able to hug that with the woodwork, which is really helpful. So that, yeah. So when you have, and that's what I have upstairs, when you have the furniture in the room that you're able to do that, it really helps holding on to something. Do you remember the palm down? So this is what's happening. Many of you are leaning to the other side. So this is good. I think I'll do more with this on Friday. Take another dog pose now, of course, for symmetry. So we'll just take a reprieve here, do dog pose. If you need to come on and process anything, Janet, that's good. I'd be happy to process with you. Take a dog pose for symmetry. Lubna, stay with it. Lubna, that's it. Now hold something with the others. Yeah, that's it. Now you have it. Good. For symmetry. We're going to do one more for the hips, and this is probably everyone's favorite, Anantasana. So come down, you're going to use your mat to align, you'll have the strap, you're going to align your left side of your body, we'll align the left side first. And because in this pose, what happens is the chest and the shoulders and the head want to come forward and the legs go back. I want to use the outer edge of the mat to get perfect alignment. Everyone today will use a blanket underneath between their shoulder, left shoulder and left ear. So we're starting in Parsvattanasana on our sides. Parsvattanasana, and we're perfectly straight. Don't let the chest, the shoulders, and the head come forward. Parsvattanasana. Have your strap before you get too settled in front of you so you can reach for it just in case you need it. So this should come rather easily. I mean, it's a challenging pose, but it should come more easily now having done what we've done. All right, wait there in Parsvattanasana. So you have your blanket in. Pause. Try to resist putting your right hand on the floor, extended alongside the hip like a bat wing. All right, now come into the second stage of Anantasana, where the right sole of the foot is as high up on your inner left thigh, and the knee wants to come forward, don't let it. So put your right hand on that inner knee, which I asked you to resist in those standing poses earlier on. Press the knee back, but move the right buttock forward to the screen. So the mantra is knee back, right buttock forward, and right buttock down. All right, now, as you did earlier, you're going to, from the Vrikshasana stage, draw the knee toward the chest. See if you can hold the big toe or the outer edge of the foot. If that's not possible, then use your belt and take your leg up. Try not to roll back, which means you have to be on the very corner of the left greater trochanter. You have to engage your abdomen, otherwise you will roll back. Try it again. And if you roll back, so, it doesn't really matter, you're in Supta 2. But I want you to pay attention to your abdomen moving back. Now, watch how the leg wants to roll forward to the screen. Take the leg back to the wall, if your wall's behind you. All right, now release the leg back to the Vrikshasana stage. Well done. All right, now just roll to a prone position. You'll feel good. Just roll to a prone position like this. Toe in, heel out, rest there. Just take this brief interlude before we do the other side. Tony, make sure you have the belt in this one for Anantasana. Yeah, for the hip, because it's much harder. If you don't have the belt, it's harder on the hip to keep the legs suspended in space without the belt. Okay, change sides. Now you're lying on the right. You could also show me from behind if you want. Literally, you're behind. Okay. Use the outer edge of the mat as a ruler. Notice if the feet are coming forward, back. So I want the whole body to be aligned. Because what typically happens, we teeter-totter, the head and shoulders come forward, the legs go back. So for most people have to adjust, they take the feet forward and the head and shoulders back. Good, Mary Beth. Extend your bat wing arm. We're using the blanket because of the cervical spine. Now engage your abdomen so you don't roll backward. You have to use your abdomen. All right, then you'll take the Vrikshasana stage, pause, remember the mantra, knee back, buttock forward, left knee back to that wall that I'm against, and the buttock forward. Then draw the leg toward you, hold the big toe, outer edge of the foot, and by now, of course, you've observed the difference in the two sides, and then stretch the leg up, Anantasana. Yes, keep the left arm straight. Left arm straight, turn the left arm from the inside out. Left arm is straight, good. Now see if you can bring the leg back toward me, Lubna, a little bit. The leg back, but the buttock forward to the furniture. Yeah, get that buttock, engage the glute muscles, Lubna. Engage the glute muscles of your area leg, and that will help you bring that leg, the buttock forward. Okay, now take the leg down, do a prone shavasana again, a quick one. All right. Now see if you can come, I'm gonna just squeeze in a quick Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. If you need the blocks, take it. If you need a chair, take it. Or just place the palms flat beside the side walls of the chest, press the feet down and come up to upward facing dog from a prone position. Be on the tops of the feet or the balls of the feet, good. Arms are straight, the thighs are off the floor, Urdhva Mukha. I know we haven't done it in some time, it's asking a lot. Now rest again in prone shavasana, which will feel good. It's always nice to squeeze in one back bend with a surprise. But actually, it's interesting. When I was tending years ago, Patricia's classes on Wednesday afternoon, she always taught Bhujangasana or Urdhva Mukha Svanasana in between the Anantasana sides. All right, now take Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog from a prone position. Elaine, you can just stay and do Urdhva Mukha again. So down dog. Elaine, you can do the plank, that's fine. All right, well done. Beautiful. Okay, now a little bit of surprise. Alert your right hand, Winnie, you'll have to be cautious on this and I'll give you an adjustment. Alert your right hand, spread the right fingers, seal the right inner wrist down, and now stack or stagger your feet coming into the arm balance of Vashisthasana on the right. Coming into dog pose, some of you have your right hand a little bit too far forward. See if you can get the hand in line with the shoulder. Good, Carla. Stack or stagger the feet. Winnie, you could do this on a chair, and let me just show it quickly for you. Go back to dog pose. Winnie, this is for you. You can do it in this manner. I really should use a blanket. You can do a Vashisthasana without that weight bearing on the side of the chair. You need a little bit, you'll probably need a little bit of height like this. So this way, Winnie. Change sides, Vashisthasana, yes. Bring the head back, align it with the feet. So I think, Winnie, if you have the side of the chair, so you're the back, so it's here in this configuration, I think it works better, yeah. See, I need a little bit of height to accommodate the length of the trunk. That's good, Lubna. Okay, rest again and we're repeating it. Wait there. So if it's too much weight on anyone's wrist, let me just show you a quick alternative. So you have the chair. Most people need a blanket. And then I'm going sideways on the chair and I'm doing Vashisthasana in this way. So, I mean, it's not weight bearing on my right arm. My palm is touching the floor, but it's certainly not the weight bearing that you get without the chair. Okay, one more time, Vashisthasana. Those of you who want the feet at the wall, that's another option. Winnie, that's good. I still think you could be a little bit, yeah. So bring it so that your greater trochanter hits the edge of the chair, because I think you look like you're a little bit too far. The chest is forward. All right, change side. Good, Lubna. Very good. And then other side. That's it, Janet. Yeah, if you're getting tired, use the chair. It works beautifully. Of course, it's a way of doing Vashisthasana too, but we're not going to get to that. A lot of weight bearing on the arms. I will say this is one of the perfect poses to do for your arms. Janet, go a little bit closer to the leg side. Okay. And now everyone, when you're ready, come out, come out. All right, let's do a quick Setu Bandha. Watch, you'll take your 2 blocks. Most of you might benefit by putting a blanket underneath your shoulders and use 2 blocks. It works beautifully. So the shoulders are on the white blanket. Tony, we'll see how this is. And then I'm lifting the pelvis up and I'm setting the blocks on the highest side underneath my pelvis. It actually provides a bigger width for my pelvis. It feels much more comfortable than 1 block. And then we're staying in this manner. I'm turning my head to see you, but you're not going to turn your head. All right, let's just see that. So have the shoulders so when you lie back, the head should be on the floor, just the shoulders are on the smooth edge of the blanket. Just to support the shoulders, so when you lift up, the shoulders don't come off the floor. Have the smooth edge side supporting the shoulders. And then up you go, insert the 2 bricks side by side. Now, I was going to teach this today, but I'm not going to. But those of you who know what I'm talking about, by extending one leg then the other and keeping the leg straight, without the wall, you can do that. Some of you with the heels down and the toes up. So the feet would be on the floor, but Tony, not for you and anyone who hasn't had any back pain. But Mary Beth, you can extend the legs. Yeah, make sure the thighs don't roll out though. You really have to engage the outer hips, press the inner thighs down. It's not easy to keep the legs outstretched and Setu Bandha. And I'll show on Friday how to use a belt. Yeah, but Mary Beth, that's how you come into it, but then you put the belt across the feet. You know what I mean? And then step down. It really works beautifully. All right. I'll show that on Friday because I haven't taught that in some time. So it looks like some of you, your pelvis is too low, Lubna, on the block. So it's almost as though, and this is really hard, you need a half brick or a textbook underneath the 2 blocks, Lubna. So I think some of you need more height. Mary Beth, the same thing. So it's true when you have the 2 blocks like this, and I think many of you could benefit or love to see it, but you almost need a half brick, which you probably don't have. But if you have a textbook, it's about 1 inch thick, or book, a hardcover, watch. So I'm going to raise the platform. Do you see that? So now it's supported. A little bit of height. So try it, Lubna, and others, Elaine, Carla, try it, Mary Beth, because I think the 2 bricks, unless they're cork, are too low for many of you. Carla, that's really good. Roll the thighs in. Imagine I'm pressing your thighs down. That's it. Now make sure, Carla, the shoulders are down and the armpit chest is higher than the upper arms, right? They aren't good. All right. So that's why it's good to keep a lot of things in the room, like you have a textbook and you have sneakers and you have the dumbbells. You can always use them. All right, now slowly take the knees into the chest, take the legs up to Viparita Karani. Straight legs. So you're kind of in a freestanding. Hold the bricks if it becomes unstable, Janet. Yeah, that's it, Carla. Legs just at 90, not beyond 90. So the legs are in the forward bend and the chest is in the back bend. Good. Yeah, I think a hardcover book would work well for many of you underneath the 2 blocks. All right, now bend the legs, take one leg down, then the other. Now lift the, press the feet, lift the pelvis off the bricks and take the bricks to the lowest side, the lowest, and take the knees, yeah, put the pelvis back on the bricks and bring the knees into the chest and just wait there. That's it, just wait there. So this wasn't the classical leg stretch class that I typically teach, which includes, Parsvottanasana and lots of Uttanasana with the head down. Wanted to do just a different sequence today, working with these standing balancing poses. So when you're ready, I think what we could do is a Shavasana with the lower legs on the seat of the chair. That will help you relax your hamstrings, but also release your low back. And then in this one, it's really nice to have the bolster. Let me just quickly show this in this manner. Pronate the palms, so the bolster's on the tall side, and I'm tractioning the roots of my thighs back as I release the sides of the waist to the floor. All right, so you can try it as a nice antidote to today's practice. So again, if you're not comfortable in any way, see if you can get comfortable. And one of the ways in which you can tell if you're not at ease is to see if there's any struggle. If there's any struggle in the body and the mind, see what you can do to help. Maybe put a blanket on across the eyes so that there's no struggle. And just appreciate the time that you spend today in class. It's really nice in Shavasana before we actually even come into it, just to be grateful that you showed up. As I said on Friday, it's not nothing, it's something, just to show up. Showing up is a lot of work. Just relax, be at ease, let there be no struggle. Set aside anything else and make an appointment with yourself to be here now. See if you can untangle the tangle of thoughts, bodily sensations. Set them all aside. Settle down, settle back, and sense that you're coming home. Finding refuge in Shavasana. If you find that the mind is particularly active, is proliferating with thoughts, then using one of the gathas that we spoke about on Friday might be helpful. Breathing in, know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, know that I'm breathing out. Or breathing in the here, breathing out in the now, And just that gentle repetition of phrases can really help reduce the proliferation of thought. But remember, thought happens. It's not that we're eliminating or want to eliminate thought. We notice thought, we notice sensations in the body, and then we come back to the touchstones of the body in contact with the floor or the breath or the phrases. Or you can even use choiceless awareness, thought, thinking, feeling, breath. So not pushing anything away. Breathing in the here, in the here. Breathing out, in the now, in the now. Timing the gentle repetition of the phrases with the breath. Synchronizing. If you feel that you want to sit, that's fine. Breathing in the here, in the here. Breathing out in the now, in the now. Remember, if it's helpful, to use these phrases throughout the day. If there's any struggle, recognizing it and using these phrases. Now, if it's comfortable for you, take the child's pose that we did at the very beginning, where the blanket was at the root of the thighs. It's really helpful to do after Shavasana. I think everyone's knees are okay with it. So child's pose with the blanket at the roots of the thighs, and decentralize the arms out to the sides. If you need additional support for your forehead, take a second blanket. Buttocks, yeah, have the knees a little bit apart from the tops of the feet, buttocks to the heels. The buttocks don't come to the heels, then build up support in front. And then most of you can have the arms out to the side, that principle of decentralization, or even hug. If you're using the bolster movement in that way, you can hug the bolster. Again, to relax the mind and the lower back as well. And then slowly come up. So I don't think I unmuted, you guys unmuted yourselves. So if anyone has any, let me stop the recording first. And then if anyone has any questions or wants to give us any news. Thank you, Carla, thank you. Okay, so let me stop the recording.